Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to our explainer looking at what was, honestly, an unbelievable David versus Goliath survival story from the 2026 World Cup. Because, let's be real, there is absolutely nothing better in football than a genuine underdog story, right? We're breaking down what was literally one of the most thrilling 45 minutes of tournament football we've seen in recent memory. I mean, we're talking about a match that completely tore up the script, pitting the defending world champions against a team that was just absolutely determined to rewrite history. Just picture the electric atmosphere inside the closed-roof stadium in Atlanta. You've got thousands of passionate fans packing the stands. The noise is absolutely deafening. And down there on the pitch, the brave pharaohs of Egypt are facing what seems like an impossible test against Argentina. But how exactly does a massive underdog engineer a shock of this magnitude against a reigning champion? Well, to really understand the anatomy of an upset like this, we've got to break this first half down, phase by phase. So let's start with phase one. The champions controlling early. Stepping onto the turf, Goliath, Argentina, effortlessly dictated the initial tempo. And you know, the pre-match expectation? Total, absolute comfort for Argentina. They held onto the ball, they dominated possession, and just began methodically probing to find that early breakthrough. But the reality on the pitch was this frantic, intense battle. Initially, Egypt definitely struggled to keep up with Argentina's lightning-quick passing sequences. But here's the thing. Instead of crumbling under the massive weight of the occasion, they just dug their heels in. And they really had to dig in, because Argentina wasn't just probing. They were launching lightning strikes. Right out of the gate, playmakers like Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister were instantly finding these terrifying spaces on the flanks, sending dangerous balls into the box and creating immediate chances from close range. But notice what Egypt did here. They didn't panic. Not at all. They absorbed the flurry, they bent their defensive shape, and somehow weathered the storm completely unscathed. It's that classic bend but absolutely refuse to break mentality. Which brings us to phase two, Egypt's shocking breakthrough. And it all unraveled in just 4 frantic minutes. It started in the 15th minute with just pure hustle from Mohamed Salah, who was intensely pestering Lisandro Martinez to force a corner. Then, literally a minute later, a looping cross from Marwan Attia finds Yasser Ibrahim, who ghosts in right ahead of his marker and just plants this unstoppable header into the top right corner. 1-0, Egypt. The stadium absolutely erupts. But the chaos was just getting started. 3 minutes later, a totally desperate Argentina launches an all-out assault, catching the Egyptian defense off guard. A panicked leg comes out from Hassan in the box, bringing down Nicolas Tagliafico, and penalty to Argentina. Just 4 minutes that completely redefined the entire match. Like the quote says, that unexpected goal completely put the cat among the pigeons. The world champions were genuinely rattled. It sparked these wild celebrations from the Egyptian supporters, of course, but it entirely threw off Argentina's rhythm. It forced them out of that methodical possession game we talked about and into this desperate, immediate counter-assault, which, as you saw, is exactly what triggered that panicked foul and the resulting penalty. All right, moving into phase 3, Messi's historic penalty miss. This right here was the ultimate clash of wills. On one side, you've got the captain, Lionel Messi, stepping up with absolute confidence, looking to pull his team level, restore the natural order of things, and, advance in the golden boot race. He strikes the ball hard toward the bottom right corner, but on the other side, Egyptian goalkeeper Mostafa Zico. Facing the legendary golden boot contender, Zico flawlessly read Messi's intent. He launches himself right across the goalmouth to parry the strike clear, leaving Messi just completely shell-shocked. 2, we really need to emphasize the historical weight behind this number. Because with this phenomenal save by Zico, Messi actually made history for the wrong reasons. He became the first player ever to miss 2 penalties at the same World Cup tournament outside of shootouts. So it wasn't just a massive save to keep Egypt in the lead, it was this unbelievable moment that instantly etched itself into the World Cup history books. And that takes us to phase 4. The Egyptian wall holds. So, right following a brief hydration break, the match basically morphed into a pure, grueling siege. Argentina moved up another gear, throwing absolutely everything at the Egyptian wall. We're talking dangerous crosses, finding McAllister point blank, crushing rebounds, and signature curling free kicks from Messi that crashed agonizingly off the post. But Zico? He just morphed into an absolute nemesis for the Argentine attack. Whether it was physical point-blank headers or this perfectly placed, really powerful side-footed shot from Julian Alvarez, Zico extended fully time and time again. Just jaw-dropping reflexes on full display, turning what looked like certain picture-book goals right around the post. And even deep into stoppage time, with bodies literally on the line, the Egyptian defense held their ground. I mean, Rami Rabia went up for a high ball and landed flat on his back, totally winded, which just proves exactly how physical this survivor mission had become. Yet when play resumed and Leandro Paredes floated one final really dangerous diagonal cross into the box looking for Messi, there was Chabert again. Sprinting off his line, he confidently claimed the ball right out of the air to finally bring the half to a close.
2010. Think about that for a second. That was the last time Argentina walked into a World Cup dressing room trailing at the break. While the Egyptian players were out there celebrating this heroic, gritty defensive masterclass to protect their narrow lead, the world champions had to leave the pitch facing just a mountain of suffocating pressure.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. Can the Pharaohs survive another 45 minutes of this unrelenting Argentine siege, or will the defending champions awaken from this nightmare to finally break down the wall? It's exactly the kind of tactical and psychological puzzle that makes the beautiful game so incredibly fascinating. So think about the immense pressure waiting in those dressing rooms right now. How long can an underdog truly hold back a giant?